What is going on, everybody? Happy Super Bowl hangover Monday. I'm definitely feeling it a little bit this morning, this evening, I should say. It was a fun day. I was rooting for Philly. I thought KC would play better. Obviously, really enjoyed having some friends over and had a little party. It was fun, a little too much fun. A little disappointing that the last Chiefs touchdown took me out of tie for the big one. But it was a pretty healthy split. It was like $32,000 instead of the million, so it wasn't like I lost everything, but it was kind of a little bit annoying that needed that last one to not happen. So, hey, it is what it is. Garbage time sometimes helps, sometimes it hurts us. The last worthy one's definitely what got to me. But anyway, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about some NBA. I'm going to go game by game here and talk through what I like. As I'm going to remind all of our users, I am going to pop in and out of the premium channel, the premium Discord, and talk more up to the minute about what I'm doing, how I'm treating the news that comes in, and what my more exact exposures are right before lock, as well as some post-lock swap shows. So I want to encourage everybody to check that out. It's pretty great. We've got some great packages. Check those out. And with that said, I'm going to refresh this. I still think that the Miami projections are off. That's just my take. I'll do them by hand if I have to after this, but we'll see what we get to with this first one. All right, so nobody I really want to go out of my way to play on Minnesota. I think you could make a good case just for Anthony Edwards, because if they're going to keep this game close, he can certainly get his, and he's been tearing things up for the most part lately. So I don't mind the idea of maybe forcing in some Edwards. You know, he's been over 63 out of his last four, actually 4 out of his last 5. He's been over 59. I think it's a reasonable guy to take a shot on today. So I'm going to bump his projection up just a little bit. I think this is a little low. I think at 48 maybe would be probably about right. Okay, we'll make it 48 for now. I think that there's some upside there. And also we'll keep an eye on Conley, and obviously he's still questionable, Edwards. On the other side of that game, the Cleveland side, again, nothing that stands out. I do still think Minnesota is a better team than they played so far. And you could make a case that, when you get those good matchups, playing some Mitchell, some Garland, I have definitely no issue with it. I don't mind bumping those guys up a tiny smidge, but I'm not going to do anything, go way out of my way to play it. Just not where I'm at right now. I think there's better spots for the attack on the slate. All right, Atlanta. So we have a huge pace up game for Orlando and a huge pace down game for Atlanta, which is going to mean I'm not getting any of the Atlanta. If somebody wanted to tell me that oh, hey, happy birthday to Brendan. Good to see you. Brandon, do you want to just pop on in here? Let's do it. I have Brandon Cruz here. And then
hello.
Hello, man. How are you doing?
Doing well.
You have enjoy the Super Bowl?
I lost everything on the fucking last catch, dude.
Oh, so that last one, I was tied for the chop for the lottery.
Dude, it was crazy. The zero Mahomes was working literally until that last one. I had like 17 of my 20 lines cashing, and Worthy passed them all at the end.
I mean, they could have gone to the backup then. I mean, the game was out of hand. Like, that's a little tilting. I really thought that I was going to be able to do, like, I thought I had a lot of good things going on, and then the Hollywood Brown one being overturned would hurt me. Instead, it went to Hopkins. I just had more of Brown, and I had him captain in my big ones. There's just like a little stuff for me, but I definitely lost, but I didn't lose like miserably, and I had a great time. But it was not the best game of all time. Let's put it that way. So I was just going through game by game here and saying what I liked and didn't like. I haven't actually come across that much that I've liked so far. I'm only on the second game, the Atlanta-Orlando side. I was actually just about to talk about Orlando, where I do think that this is the side I'm more interested in. How do you want to roll with it? Do you sort of have like an overall what you want to do tonight?
Well, I kind of texted you last minute, but
I didn't. This
will probably be the last time I play NBA for at least several weeks and stuff. But the main reason why I joined is because I have for those that don't know, I won like 10K last week, and during the last month I'm up like 15,000. But I have a fantasy basketball world championship qualifier ticket that I'm gonna use tonight.
Oh,
I had won that during that night.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of paying more attention to the slate than normal. Nice. To try not to waste that ticket. And I figured I'd just come on and ask questions or be here. We can go game by game. I've been goofing around with builds for a while, but I have no clue where I'm going to be going at the moment. Yeah, so I'm down to share anything and just be here.
Nice. I'll keep going through the games. I was saying that I do, and I know you got all the NASCAR stuff starting up and all that stuff. So hopefully we can get a nice little cushion for the season. God, they're really updating a lot of projections at once. I personally, I kind of like everything. I bumped up Palo and I bumped up Franz just a little bit. I have no issue. I just think you got to overplay guys when they play Atlanta, and even though obviously the projections take that into account, I think that there's more upside for all of these guys than I just would like to have exposure to Orlando tonight. Is basically where I'm at. Similarly, moving on to the next one, we've got a lot of bodies, and tell you what, we have Wembanyama with multiple position eligibility. He is 12K. The numbers haven't been the same lately. I just am going to take advantage of the matchup, and I'm going to bump up his projection. We'll see where how I end up on him, but I'm going to make that projection a little bit higher. Just because I just think that you got to try and take some shots against these teams. Do you have any thoughts or takes on this specific situation? Because this is a pretty high pace game. This San Antonio Washington.
So I'm concerned. So backing up a little bit, I think tonight leans, for me personally, like a stars and scrubs type of build. With the value that's open up, that'll probably be opened up, even if we have injuries late or people ruled out late, like in the Denver game and stuff.
Sure.
But I'm really concerned about San Antonio's usage with Fox joining. I don't think it affects Wemby too much. If anything, he'll probably get more assists. But I don't know if we're going to be seeing like ceiling performances from Fox, from Chris Paul. I believe Vassell is the other guy. I'm just going off the top of my head here. So I'm hesitant on really playing guys from San Antonio until we see how Fox is integrated into the team. So kind of with that, like entering the slate, like I kind of know that I'm probably not going to be using a lot of San Antonio today.
Interesting. Okay. I'm a little bit higher on those guys. And again, I'm not going to get to necessarily a ton, but I'm just always going to be a little bit over on Wemby. And yes, he hasn't had his big games with Fox there. They're relying on Fox as more of an offensive scorer in a way that I wasn't necessarily expecting. I thought he would still be giving the ball to Wemby more. I just think there's so much upside against the Wizards. Anytime you play him, you kind of have to just gamble and say if this game stays close, somebody's going to go nuts. It's a really, they just give up so many ceiling type performances. And also San Antonio plays fast and gives up a lot of points. So the other side is a little bit interesting to me. They made the Rashawn Holmes price way up there, and they even moved Vucevic up, Vucevic with a K up there. So I like Jordan Poole tonight. It's one of the few nights I actually like him better than SaberSim likes him. But I'm mostly going to let it just roll, with the Washington side. Did you get to anything from Washington?
Oddly enough, there are some people. So I've been listening to stuff kind of all day. Poole has gotten some like interest in as like a low own play in GPPs from some other shows, but that's really all that I have seen. I will probably not be using Poole. So actually, I think that, not to skip ahead, really the main reason why I got here is I really want your opinion on Sabonis. Because I really, really like Sabonis today. Yeah. And so like that, I'm probably going to try and get him and Jokic in. So like that's kind of restricting my, my utility and center positions. And I know with how loaded, the shooting guard position is today, I'm at a bit of a pickle between choosing Jokic and other shooting guards. And so like with Poole, just due to that I'm probably gonna be using the guard position for another shooting guard, and I don't really want to waste my point guard on Poole. I probably wouldn't have Poole tonight.
Yeah, I think that I certainly can understand it. And it is hard. I mean, there's a lot of good guys that I like spending up. I'm sort of not sure where I'm going to end up on the Sabonis things, but I did just bump his projection up a little bit. I'm on FanDuel still. Actually, I was talking through FanDuel first, and it's going to be somewhat similar for DraftKings. There's a little more value over there, and I just wanted to start with this one just so I can roll through it really quickly. I wasn't able to do it this morning. I'm not getting to anything from Boston, but both Tatum and Brown are out, or sorry, questionable. And this is weird. Without a hero, the Heat are only 6.5 point dogs. I get the feeling that means that we might get somebody out from Boston, one of Tatum or Brown. I just think they would be like 10 here if they thought everybody was playing. And obviously there's no Drew Holiday too, but I don't think it's like a massive action item to take. But I'm not getting too much of Boston on FanDuel at the moment, but that could very easily change. I am not buying these projections on Miami. I just can't believe without Hero that these guys don't project better than they do than they currently are. So I'm probably going to manually just bump these up unless we get an update that does it later on. I just think that that's a lot of usage that you're taking off the court, and every number. I'm not going to go Wiggins, but I'll move and wear up a little bit. Oops, 29, not 39. And this is what I've been trying to do lately, and just sometimes with great success, and sometimes with I've had some really bad nights. But I'm trying to just change the projections rather than doing the min maxes. You get some really weird builds if you're going to multi-entry enter doing the min max stuff.
Yeah, I'd like. Oh yeah, I mean, I guess that's another thing. Today's the big $5 contest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So clearly, I mean, I'm doing single entry, but I really like Rozier from Miami today.
Yeah, I feel like his projection is a little too low, so that's why I bumped him up a few points. I could even argue with going to 30 and really making more of a commitment. Charlotte and Brooklyn, there is nothing on Charlotte's side that makes any sense to me, but you do have the 3 Q tags, so you might end up with one of Diabate. I don't even know who the other play would be, because Nick Smith and Josh Green. I honestly don't know what I would get to over here. I do think that Miles Bridges is a little bit too low projected, but still probably not going to end up getting to him. But I'm just going to bump his projection up a little bit. On the Brooklyn side, I did not like. There's nobody I wanted to change to bump up. There's nobody I wanted to bump down. The only one I keep taking shots on is Russell, and it's not working out for the most part. So they just won't give him that 32 minutes plus. New Orleans, OKC. Just going to really quickly go. I do like. I will eat some of the Alvarado chalk. I'm higher on Missy than the field seems to be. I don't even need to change his projection. I'm getting to a lot of him. I do think there's plenty of upside here, and it is one area you can sort of. You could argue with everybody back like that they're going to need him to play more. Javonte Green is another piece of value that I'm using some of tonight, and I think the Zion's an interesting tournament play. I'm over the field on that one, but I don't feel like I need to change any of these projections. I also think there's a really good chance that OKC wins this game very, very easily, and I'm not getting to anybody really from the OKC side in this one. Real quickly, just going to go Golden State. Draymond chalk, it's not my favorite thing, but it's fine. He's reasonably priced. Jimmy Butler, I think there's some upside here, and I'm probably just going to let it cruise. I don't have a really strong take on any of the projections being off or anything for Golden State.
I like Brandon from Golden State.
You like Podziemski?
Yeah, him and Rozier are probably going to be in my lineups. Like they're actually the two that I probably stayed on all day so far.
He's been really good. I'm curious to see long term how the minutes work with Jimmy in the mix. It didn't affect him so far, but we'll see. This is weird to see Golden State favored in Milwaukee, even without Giannis. This feels too aggressive to me. I don't know why this spread is like this. Like, why are they 7-point favorites on the road? It's a lot of respect for the Warriors. I think the Milwaukee to win the game outright at plus 220. That just seems crazy. Unless they sit Lillard also, which he is questionable. Maybe he's sitting based on this line. I bet he does. I bet something like that happens because I can't understand. I don't think that the Bucks should be 7-point underdogs at home. I just don't. I don't care that Giannis isn't playing. I also don't understand the projection. Look, Portis is 8,500 on FanDuel. He's not going to be a play over there. But on DraftKings, I think he's totally in play. In fact, you could actually make an argument. He's put up games that 8,500 without Giannis. He could still get there. But the ones I'm currently getting to are Lillard and Kuzma on FanDuel. This Gary Trent chalk business. It's not my favorite thing. I don't like it. To answer the question in the chat, there's so many ways this doesn't work, but he is a value play that is. I mean, he took 20 shots in the last game. I can't just overlook it. So I'll take what I get of him, but I'm not going out of my way to try to play Gary Trent. And I actually will probably actively try not to in some of my hand builds. We'll see. We'll see what we end up with. I do like the Sabonis idea. And I think playing he and Jokic definitely makes some sense, which is what you said before. Fine with Levine. I like this matchup for Levine and Monk a little bit. On the Dallas side, real quickly, this is the game I think that you sort of try to target. I love PJ Washington. He would be my favorite play. Kyrie would be second. Gafford third. And Clay's been hot lately, so I don't mind it. Also, again, a lot of Q tags, so hard to know what to do at this moment. And I'm just going to touch on the games real quickly. The Utah LA game is not on DraftKings; it's only on FanDuel. Jeremy Grant it feels a little too chalky, and he's questionable, but it's fine. Again, I don't have strong stakes of trying to change these guys' projections. I will, because of the low ownership on FanDuel, I will bump Jokic up because I just always want to take chances. You never know when that 100 fantasy point game is coming, and let's get his medium bumped up a little bit because I think I like the idea of trying to get to him when no one does. I just always am going to try and go out of my way to do that, and it is harder to do today than most days. But I think that there's going to be value that opens up, and he's not going to end up 6% owned. I also do like this Christian Braun play, but I'm not going to bump the projection. I'm going to get to him anyway. Utah and LA. Clarkson back in LA is a massive play for me. I'm going to project. Look, he always does this. He is a vengeful guy. They're letting him play the minutes right now. I'm very into playing Clarkson in most of my lineups tonight on FanDuel. Again, you can't play him on DraftKings, but his usage has been good with the way things are currently constructed. Obviously, he played for the Lakers and he's had some monster games going back there before, and now he really has the ball more. So I'm going to be well over on the Clarkson chalk. And then on the Lakers side, I don't know what to do with Luka because the price is so tempting. Will they just let him play 34 minutes right off the bat? Because I think Luka I thought Luka would end up being the chalky one, and then people wouldn't play the Sabonis and Giannis. I'm sorry, Sabonis and Jokic on FanDuel. But I'm surprised more people aren't playing Luka. This might be a little low, this projection on him. So I'll bump it up a tiny bit. That's not going to go crazy with it. But it's really weird to see Luka with the projection like less than 60 in general, even with the Lakers here. So we can jump back over and talk about the main guys. So who are some other guys? You mentioned Podziemski. You like who are some of the other guys in your single entry that you're looking at right now?
Like I said, I'm debating on if I need to get Jokic in. I need to find value, but what I'm really focusing on today is trying to figure out what value I want to use. I'm not really concerned about ownership. I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name. He plays for Charlotte. He's a center. He's 3,900. But I have interest in him, Nurkic, I think. Same thing with Trent. Gary Trent for Milwaukee. I'm really trying to just figure out what values I want to use. Like even George from Washington. Like any real, I'm probably going to be very heavy on the late games today, and I'm going to need to just try and nail early value because like if I miss the value early, it doesn't matter if I have Jokic or not. It's going to be over.
Right.
So that's more so what I'm really trying to do. So thank God we have so many games starting at 6. So I don't really have to worry about that too much. But those are the other 3 guys. So it's George from Washington, the Charlotte dude, Nurkic, I think, and possibly Gary Trent. Just because Gary Trent can fit literally in any position, and there's a real chance he's going to be at least at a 5 value, especially if Lillard misses. I'm actually quite interested in Gary Trent from Milwaukee.
Yeah, I'll just tell you the Gary Trent rundown. It is if he's like 50 or 60% owned, you shouldn't be playing him. There is absolutely no rhyme or reason. You're betting on a guy to make a bunch of threes, and that's all he does. It's off the bench. He's had some great games recently. I think at this ownership, maybe we can still keep him. But like if we did lose, if you did lose, what's his name? Lillard, I actually think he'd be the wrong guy to play.
What ownership are you seeing on him at the moment? Because
it's 16 on DraftKings, which is reasonable. That's okay with me. If Lillard's out and he ends up 50 or 60%, there's just no way I'm doing that. Probably, at least not okay. Not no way I'm doing it. It's not going to be a priority for me. I'll go out of my way to try to lower his projection. I've seen Gary Trent be the only ball shot creator of any kind, if you even call him that, where there's literally nobody else on the court who actually ever was like a plus scorer. And I've seen him play 36 minutes and have 5 fantasy points. He is not a guarantee of any kind. I just want to make that clear. Now, of course, with these guys out and he's had some huge games lately, I just don't think we should be looking at that as the norm. I agree that his projection is. I thought again, it's really going to depend on whether Lillard plays or not, but this projection I'm okay with. But I don't. I think there's plenty of times he's well under here. That's just my take. The Kuzma thing is hard to avoid on DraftKings. Javonte Green is another one that if it gets too high of ownership, I kind of usually want to try to find some place to pivot. But for what he's been doing, for the role he's in right now, I think that it's okay. Feels I don't know if I want. I don't want to have like 80% of it though. Let me just grab him real quick.
What do you think of Jonathan Isaac from
I don't
Orlando?
think I want to do the Javonte. I'm going to lower Javonte Green's projection a little bit. This is too high. It's just a gamble, the Isaac thing. It's a great matchup for it. It's kind of interesting. I mean, look, he played 18 minutes. With him, it's really just about the minutes. He's got the power forward eligibility. I think that's interesting. I like that. I can get on board with that. Yeah, it's going to depend on what news we get, and I'm just going to double check that I haven't missed anything on the NBA Twitter. Let's see what it says. Okay, come on. Brooke Lopez available. Tatum and Brown are both game time decisions. I'm telling you, I'm betting you one of those guys sits. Stress was ruled out.
Okay. If they sit, what do you think Pritchard does? Because like I've watched fully the last two Boston games, and Pritchard has literally gotten there in the second half on 3-pointers.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, like because he had been underperforming in both of those games at halftime.
Yeah, he's aggressive though. Like he'll have more. His usage will go up a lot, but I don't think he's the one you're focusing on. I think that you're focusing if either one of them are out, you play the other one. And I think Porzingis is the main one. If they both are, Porzingis, Derek White, and Pritchard would all be good plays if they're both out. And Al Horford's projection seems a little, maybe his ownership just a little bit higher than I was expecting tonight. I mean, we got him at 22 fantasy points. He's he just got a wide range of outcomes. Another one, but there is value tonight, but it's sort of like it's not like the most exciting value. You know what I mean? And I bumped. Oh, they did bump up Terry Rozier over that. This feels like a more of a healthy projection. I haven't rebuilt my lineups since the Hero news, so I'm going to rebuild those in a little bit. But I'll probably do that in a premium channel, and I'm going to tweak a few projections as well. But like guys, I'm over and under. I'll eat the Kuzma chalk. I'll probably eat the Rozier chalk. Diabate really depends on whether who plays there and what happens. I don't know who starts. Like I want to see how that plays out. Right now, I would be getting some of them. Bobby Portis, I'll be well over the field on this. This feels like a low projection to me. I mean, all we've seen is he just freaking smashes, right?
Wait, you said Diabate. Didn't he get injured last night? Like, didn't he get hit in the face?
He's supposed to play though today.
Interesting.
I mean, he's not even questionable. I put him as a core play. I mean, he put up 44, 60, and 60 the two games without Giannis. I could argue that this number I could make this number even a lot higher than it is, and I'm going to end up getting.
Oh, I thought you said Diabate from Charlotte. My bad.
Oh no, I was Diabate. I don't know what they're going to do with their starting lineup. That's by Diabate. It really depends if they want to try and start off. If they start Nurkic, I think we're playing Nurkic. He's 3,900, and they did just trade for him. Maybe they want to give Diabate more time off the bench. He's still going to play some, but I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what they do with their starting lineup. I actually think Nurkic is kind of an interesting tournament dart anyway. Feels like we should be playing some of them. I'm going to bump this up just a tiny bit.
Well, I mentioned him when I gave you my list, and you had no fanfare. There was no attention to him, so I was like, okay, I guess
that's because I was on FanDuel, and he's
yes.
Yeah. On DraftKings, very different at 39. Yeah, I think that's one I'll be over on, but even if he doesn't start. And what did they make? I'm trying to just look and see who of the highest owned players where I'm going to be, and I'm just going to be well over on Portis. I'll probably be over on Poole, and I'll probably be over on the Heat guys. I'll probably be underweight Gary Trent unless we lose more guys. I'll probably be underweight guys like Kaishan George. I'll be overweight guys like Kyrie, Paolo. That's sort of the way that I'm looking at this stuff anyway. I do think Wemby is being a little. I still think there's so much ceiling here, and I you know me, I like to, I try to do what I can to get Wemby or Jokic in every night because I just don't. You get if you get him like sub 20% owned, and you absolutely might need them because they can get 100. I think Jokic's projection's a little low, but those are the main ones that I'm tweaking. So, any questions in the chat that I haven't? Oh, yeah, there's a few things.
If I know you got to go to chat, but who do you have interest in Denver if Porter misses? Because obviously it'd be Braun and then Murray, correct? Even like regardless if you're playing Jokic or not.
Yeah, Braun and Murray are already in play, and I think those would be the natural ones. I don't generally play Aaron Gordon. He also tends to have too high ownership for his role, and you know he's just a low usage guy, but he's a good real life player. But I think that Strother would come into play. He's just a little bit more expensive than you'd want if there was no. Because remember Westbrook's already out too, so it's not like they're they're not quite at full strength. I think Jokic, honestly, though, is really the answer. Jokic and Murray probably are the major answers, and people are not playing Jokic because, like I said, this value it's a little sus today. Just I could see a lot of it. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't get to. Jaylen Brown is out. Okay, thanks. Sorry,
at least you got that now.
Jaylen Brown's. Doc Rivers said he thinks Lillard will play tonight. Okay. Tatum is in. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to go through my thought. Let's see. Brown is out. Rozier rarely smashes in these spots. I don't know what these spots qualify. We haven't seen Rozier without Jimmy Butler and Hero very much at all, so I don't really know what to do with that one. Yeah, I don't know that it's it's not revenge. I mean, I guess it would be more revenge if he was playing in Boston, but I mean, his usage has gone up even just without Jimmy. Even when games with Hero, I think Rozier is very I actually feel reasonable about his taking him anyway. Guys, please get the likes up. We appreciate it. Brendan, any other thoughts before I get out of here, finish my builds, and then jump into the premium Discord?
I can rerun stuff, or I am gonna rerun stuff, obviously with Brown being out, to see if I need to prioritize more people from Boston. But that's really gonna be the last part. I mean, I can join you in Discord again. I doubt I'll be saying much, but everything I've voiced here is pretty much kind of where I'm at. I doubt I'm going to be changing much. Just a lot of 1v1s, but I like Rozier. Obviously, I like Portis. I'm playing Sabonis. Sabonis is probably going to decide the slate for me. Those are my main guys that I have interest in. Everything else is going to be dependent on if I feel the need to force in Tatum or chase Jokic, and if I do neither of those, then it's going to probably be a pretty balanced lineup for me. That's where
I'm gonna be much heavier on that Boston thing now. I sort of knew that was going to come, but I'm going to be taking the Boston. I'll play the Porzingis. I'll play Derek White. I'll play Jason Tatum. Those guys are going to be over. I don't know if I'll be overweight. I'll play some Pritchard, but Pritchard would be fourth for me from those guys, and Horford's fine because of his price, but it's not. I'm not excited to try and hand build with Horford in there because you just know.
Yeah, Horford would be my least interested guy in that situation.
Yeah, just the only thing is the 3,900 is it helps you get the other guys depending on what kind of builds you're going for. But I hear you. All right, man. Well, good luck, everybody. I'm gonna pop into the premium Discord and update all my stuff. And let's crush it tonight. And if you're in the Discord, jump on in the chat channel, and we'll continue this there. Brandon, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yep.
Good luck tonight, and I'll see you in the